Hello, and welcome to Eastern Roman history. Leontius's rebellion was not the first successful usurpation in the 7th century. Phocas had overthrown Maurus, Heraclius had overthrown Phocas, and Constans II's general Valentine had dethroned Heraclonus and Martina. However, Leontius's rebellion would spell the end of the Heraclian dynasty, and forced the empire to enter a 22-year period of instability, marked by usurpations and anarchy which left the empire open to a full-scale invasion which could have destroyed the empire in the Great Arab Siege of Constantinople in 717. A strategos of both Anatolikon and Hellas, a successful general and an Isaurian, Leontius, who ruled from 695 to 698, proved to be quite an able choice as emperor, who ruled for 3 years from 695 to 698. It was Leontius' decision, which, in hindsight, for him was a very bad one, to spare the life of Justinian II. Instead, he mutilated and exiled him out of respect for Constantine IV. He even tried to save Theodotus and Stephen, the chief ministers of Justinian II, but could not control the mob. As a result, both of these ministers were burned alive. Of what Leontius actually did during his reign, there is little record. Theophanes says Leontius was made emperor and remained in peace on all sides. Page 369, AD 695 to 696. Nikephoros the Patriarch skipped straight to his loss of Africa. I speculate that Leontius must have spent this time establishing himself as emperor. His inaction may have been an attempt to cut back on spending after the mounting cost of Justinian II's reign. In 696, al-Walid sacked Malatia. Prince Sergius of Lazica, the son of Barnukios, transferred Iberia from Roman to Arab rule. In 697, Africa was overrun by the Arabs, and Carthage was captured, having been under Roman control since its reconquest by Belisarius in the reign of Justinian the Great in 534. Leontius immediately reacted by sending the Carabisianoi troops to recapture the province. John was placed in command of the fleet and drove out the Arabs in Carthage. It is likely that the Arabs had few troops due to fighting the Berbers at the time. al-Malik sent a large army to thwart the Romans in 698, which they did, and thus Africa was lost forever. Regrouping on Crete, while en route to seek reinforcements, the officers of the Carabisianoi, fearing the wrath of Leontius for their failure, proclaimed Apsimar, Drungarios of the Tiberios, emperor. Meanwhile, Leontius returned the Cypriots Justinian II had relocated back to Cyprus. He also cleaned the Neorian harbour of Constantinople. In addition, another bout of bubonic plague struck Constantinople and lasted for 4 months, killing many people. In 698, Apsimar besieged Constantinople. Bribing the commanders of the Balakani, Apsimaros entered the capital. The Marines started to loot the city by stealing into people's houses and plundering their belongings. Apsimar captured Leontius and cut off his nose. He then exiled him to the monastery of St. Delmatos. Leontius's loyalists were flogged, exiled, and had their property confiscated. This Apsimar had been renamed Tiberius on Crete and was now Emperor Tiberius III. There is not much to say about the reign of Leontius. His only real failure, the loss of Africa, was more Apsimar's fault than his own. Of the few facts that are known about his reign, they tell us that Leontius was quite popular. He focused on internal rather than external exertions and adequately responded to the African crisis when it occurred. One might criticize his laissez-faire approach to the raiding into Anatolia, but Leontius may have needed to consolidate what troops he had after the consistent failures of the latter years of Justinian II. Either way, by all accounts, he was a good emperor. I have been your host, Daniel Maynard, and this has been Eastern Roman History.